and we want to throw it back even more. Late 90s, early 2000s vibes. You know that guy, Bucs legend Mike Alstott. In that era, he's a Super Bowl champ, 3-time first-team All-Pro, 6-time Pro Bowler. Oh, my goodness. A-Train knows what it takes to win, knows what it's like to start 3-0 with the Bucs. And we want to send it over to our friend Kyle Long, who is standing by with Mike. Kyle, take it away.
Yeah, Jacqueline, great job on the intro. You made my job a little bit easier, but I get to talk with an absolute legend today, Mike Alstott. And Mike, I want to get the business end of the conversation out of the way. So today you're working with Old Spice, the greatest smell in the NFL. Can you talk to us a little bit about what you got going on with the students of Tampa at Jefferson High School?
Yeah, today, great to be partnered up with Old Spice and be here at River Ridge High School and Tampa here, and just coming out here to support the kids, make everybody smell good, feel good, look good, type of thing. And but the thing is, though, we're here to talk about mentorship and confidence and just what Old Spice offers to these kids and the opportunities that they have in front of them. With the resources, and we're just sending the message out there with Old Spice and how much they should these kids should really use their resources as far as their teachers and their coaches and the different faculty that give them all the resources they need here to help them out in life.
Dude, I think that's so awesome. And mentorship is obviously the only reason that any of us ended up having any success in football.
Right.
Some of us had better mentors as coaches than others. The thing that stands out to me is the polarity at the head coach position for guys you dealt with. John Gruden, Tony Dungy, two great mentors, two great football people, but complete opposites. And I've heard you talk about them before. Were you lucky to have Dungy at the beginning because he was such a teacher and such a human element side of the game?
No question. I just spoke with that about the team and stuff like that. It's like both coaches are great, but when you have a young Lynch, when you have a young Sapp, when you have a young Brooks and a young Barber and Simeon Rice and all these guys, and you grow up with in the hands of Coach Dungy, that is our mentor. And he still is our mentor, and be able to mold us and guide us and teach us about life through football. It was a huge moment, and how to face adversity through life, and stuff like that, and to love on the community and all those things that you hear about each and every day. And then Gruden comes in my 7th year and then changes a little stuff up, and then we win a Super Bowl. So it's I had the best of both worlds with both of them. They are two opposites, no question. But Gruden's probably one of the best X and O's that I've ever had, X and O's coaches I ever had when it came to presentation, presenting to us, in the meeting room, and how his delivery was and stuff. So I had the best of both worlds.
And we get to see these guys in the media now. And, obviously you and all those great players you named were lucky to have leadership like that, particularly at the beginning with Dungy. One thing that stands out to me is there's so many great players. They come and go in this league because there's always new players. Some of the greats end up forgotten, and it's one of the travesties in the National Football League, all the great players that have come and gone. But you are a rare breed. You're the guy that everyone measures big, jacked running backs up against. What's it like being so relevant now? And do you feel like sometimes the comparisons with some of these strong running backs, it's unfair to just say, hey, that looks like number 40 to me?
I did my job, right? I did what I was supposed to do. I came out each and every day and had the respect of my teammates and played the game as hard and as best I can possibly do. And whatever moves forward in comparison to whatever they want to compare against. That's not for me to do. I just I enjoy. I think a little bit right now. kind of like coming back to reality with all the social media and stuff like that with me and all these highlights and everything coming out. So I'm kind of, digging it. You know what I mean? That bring me back. You know what I mean? I can't play, but bring it back and just I enjoyed it and I loved it so much and the way that things transpire and we had our 50th. We had our 50th anniversary for the Buccaneers on Sunday, and it was so freaking humbling and so freaking, seeing all the old players and everything that you were just in the trenches with each and every day. And that was, you want to talk about freaking being humbled and loving life and stuff like that. It was great. My whole career was unbelievable with people, mentors, and just great football players, right?
Yeah, and mentees in your case, because I would
Right.
imagine every young player that went into the Tampa Bay Buccaneers locker room, they pointed number 40 and they said, "Find somebody that does what you want or has what you want, do what they do." I'd point right at number 40 and I'd say, "Go do what he does," which is why number 40 hasn't been issued in Tampa Bay since you left the team. Is there a guy out there, maybe league wide or in Tampa Bay, that if they went knocking on the GM's office and said, "I want to wear number 40," and they said, "We got to call Alstott up for this one," is there anybody out there you'd be like, "You know what? I let him rock that. I love his game."
Yeah, Baker Mayfield. Yeah, no question. And that guy does flips. Will do anything in his power to put that team on his back and 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 let them be successful on him and his motivation each and every day. I love that. I wish I was part of his huddle. That was exactly me. And it didn't matter what the calling was to do. The job was going to get done.
I could not love an answer more than the one that you just gave because I feel the same way. Obviously, I was an offensive guard, offensive tackle. So you and I would have been buddies, or you would have been slapping me in the head
Yeah.
saying, "Hey, buddy, outside hat placement, dumbass." But a guy like Baker makes everybody right. So clutch, so much fun to watch, epitomizes being a great teammate and toughness. And, I have one thing written down here. I said, you, Mike, would have been a guy that got the O-line dinner invite every single week just by nature
Oh,
of how you played the game.
I was, me and you would have been buddies. We would have been best friends. I mean, I love those guys. I mean, I don't know how many big ogres I freaking hugged this weekend. They're all sweaty and all that stuff this weekend. It's like that, right? They're freaking, but God, they're freaking my guys, man, my guys. I mean, like every day, um, it just brings back great memories, man. Thank you.
And you know what? I'd say Baker Mayfield could get the invite too. On the emails, you CC somebody else. Well, the third
Oh,
party
I see
CC
him
is
at the
Baker
games last
Mayfield.
week, last year. End of the season. My son lives in this area, and we go to the bar, little dive bar, and next thing you know, it's like Atlanta game was coming on. We needed Atlanta to lose or something like that for us to make the playoffs or to be relevant in to take them out of it or something rather another. I don't know the whole circumstance, but we had implications on the Buccaneers. So, but all of a sudden, here comes Baker and freaking seven freaking big ass freaking linemen coming through the door and stuff like that. And I'm like, man, that's how I rolled with my guys. Right? That's
You
exactly
got
what I
to
did.
roll like that. You got to
Yeah.
roll like that. And I've been on teams where they don't roll like that, and you can vouch for this. They ain't that. If you don't roll
All
like that
right.
as a team, you're not going to be able to roll it on Sunday like that. You were talking about some of the OGs you got to see at the 50th reunion. Obviously, my old man Howie played, and I get to hear about reunions all the time, check-ins on the old heads and old teammates. And we talk football a lot. One topic we always get into is who could have played the game in any era of football. So who from your tenure as a Buccaneer on your team or somebody you played against would have dominated in today's game? And maybe who would have been more appreciated in today's game?
That plays now or in my era or
In
in the
your
older
day,
era,
who
we
could have
mean?
been on the 2025 Buccaneers and been an all-pro type guy?
That was it could be on 2020 Buccaneers right now for my team.
Yeah,
Oh yeah. Oh,
all of them.
the big four. I mean, three or four was it? I know Lynch would have dominated, right? You had Lynch in the middle, you had Brooks, Rondé, I mean, I think I think that I could go down the list and have pretty much 90% of our team be able to play now. And, and we would, yeah, it's just the only thing is now it's like we hit on, I mean, you did too, right? We hit on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. We killed each other on Tuesdays and Wednesdays to get prepared for a game, right? And that's why, but, just the pounding, we had demolished freaking guys now. I mean, it just.
I love that. I love that, by the way.
I mean,
I
it
I was raised by a guy like you, Mike. I was raised like a guy by a guy like you. And
Demeanor,
there's no
that we grew up with in practice. I mean, like, we didn't take the pads off from Coach Dungy. It was like 28 days or something like that. I don't know. It was like so long, right? Because it was like it didn't rain in Florida and it was unheard of not to rain. And it was our first year with Coach Dungy, like in '96, right? And we're like, hey, we're gonna get rained out, and sure shit, it didn't rain.
Hey, Mike, this is so much fun to get and sit and chat with you. I mean, I got a million questions I'd like to ask you, but our producers are saying they got to talk about other sports on this show too.
I'll come back on.
Mike,
I'll come back on, bro. I'll come back on.
My man, you're welcome to come anytime, dude.
All right, brother. Hey,
thank you.
I appreciate that, bro.
Thank you.
No, thank you, man.
You have a good one, Mike.
You,
we'll go back to you now, Haley.
All right, brother. You good, man. Thank you so much.
See you, boss.
Hey, great stuff as always, Kyle. What a conversation, Jacqueline, between those two. I feel like we kind of could have just listened in and learned a lot from those guys.
I know. I feel like I was just watching in on like them just broing out or something on the couch. NFL Today, by the way. Make sure you check it out Sundays, 12 Eastern on CBS, and of course streaming on Paramount Plus.